Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Guitar Souls podcast. This is episode 18, a coming of age, if you like.
Mm-hmm.
We've made it, we're legal.
I can have a wee pint of beer now.
I think I might do that.
Sounds like a good idea. It's definitely Saturday. My dudes.
Yes, so episode 18, this is a follow-on from the last clip. And I'm just going to say this right at the start because we forgot to say it in the last one.
Yes.
You know, as usual, like, share, subscribe. But this one in particular, if you are listening to this in audio form, you might want to head on over to YouTube and check this out in video form because we are going to be going through the new lineup of Gibson guitars. We're going to talk about what we like, what we don't like. So if you go on YouTube, you'll have some visual aids for this, and everybody likes aids.
I mean, we can't play Spot the Flaw if you're not watching.
Exactly. So
and there's probably going to be some fucking flaws known Gibson, so we'll see what happens.
But we'll try and describe them as we go. So,
But
in a follow-up to the last episode where we talked about criticism and having to deal with criticism, Mike mentioned getting a review of Party Cannon at Deaf Feast Open Air.
And it was pretty bad.
It was bad, a very, very bad review. And we thought it would be fun to just read that out in all its glory. So who was this posted by?
I'll need to find it because this is actually a good review that I was going to show you.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, give me 2 seconds, we'll try and find it. So I'm not sure exactly who it was that gave us a bad review. And I'll need to try and translate it as well because it's in Dutch. I'll tell you exactly where it came from, but it was I found it interesting is a good way to put it.
This is preparation, and so just before we started recording, Mike pulled his phone out and was like, check this review out, and passed it to me, and I assumed it was the negative review, so I went, no, I'm not going to read that now, we'll do it on the podcast. And evidently, no, it was a good review. He was just showing off how good he is.
So
check out this.
Sorry, there's not much to it. It's pretty much just because of the translation, it's broken English of fuck Party Cannon, pretty much.
I mean, to be fair, that's my general Party Cannon message.
Yeah. Can't say I blame you.
Footage from that show looked great though. So
yeah, well, I mean, I had a good time. The people in the crowd seemed to have a good time, but there's one person in particular who didn't really like it. I think it's Zwar Metallian, but I could be pronouncing that fucking well wrong. Anyway, dozens of beach balls, a confetti nudge or 5, and balloons of all kinds. Even with their toy store logo, Party Cannon created a true hype around themselves, and the frenzied convention that Death Feast sometimes seems to be can only catch on thinking you would. Think again. The audience is curious, but it looks like mere lambs. They cannot do otherwise because the Scots are working extremely messy gravel. Really, at given moments it seems they all play a different song and just does not come across. Surprisingly little slam, also for a group name that contains a cannon. There, a man in orange t-shirt, Stoney by the way, the vocalist, does a very moderate grunt and the guitar sounds like a pot of marbles that falls over. Actually, there is no humour in the performance, because on a crew member who is obliged to do crowd surfing on an inflatable killer whale, the one of the party items from sentence 1 remains. It is quite strange they do not complete their half hour, and then the rest it doesn't translate. Okay, thanks. Glad you had a good time.
I mean, it's a funny review, and it's funnier when you point out that wasn't a crew member.
Definitely not. I mean, Josh is a good friend of the band. I wouldn't deny that for a fact, but he's not involved in the band. I mean, I'm sure he would like to be, but he's not.
Yeah.
Sorry, Josh. I do love you, man, but I mean, unless you're going to come on and be like a third guitarist or something.
You know what you should do? False flag him. Sorry, no, flag him. It's not a false flag. It's righteous.
No, I disagree. I don't think that's something that should ever be flagged because that's just a person's opinion, and their opinion doesn't matter.
Joey. I didn't I can't believe I'm doing this now because this is like an episode behind.
Yeah.
But further to that, I can't believe I didn't mention this. But I've had my dealings with people like Rob Chapman in the past, and like we've butted heads, and you just sometimes have to shout at people and make them understand. You can't go through life trying to make everybody like you. I don't like you, and that's okay. You don't like me either. That's absolutely fine.
Why would you want me to like you if you don't like me?
Yeah.
First of all.
Yeah. You can spend all of your energy trying to make me like you, trying to make a judge make me like you. But why? It's a waste of your... Why not spend time devoting yourself to the people that do like you?
The people that matter.
Yeah, so...
Absolutely. I think...
This may come as... Sorry, I interrupt. This may come as news to you, but there are some people out there that really don't like me.
Who?
I don't care.
Point them out.
I don't care.
I don't believe you.
I'm pointing at the camera.
That's it. Every one of you. No, not at all. No, you're right. What's the point of focusing your energy on something that you shouldn't even care about changing, never mind something that you can't change. Like, I don't know if maybe my mentality comes from my gigging background. Like, my mentality when I play gigs is if one person enjoys it, if a crowd of 20 or no one else turns up but one person's there, fuck it, I'm going to go fucking hard in the paint. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to have fun, because that's the whole point in it. It's a hobby that has taken me to some incredible places and that gave me life opportunities that I never expected I'd have. So why not make the most of it, especially when there's people there who are expecting to enjoy it with you, to get something from it, to share that experience. Fucking share the experience with them. Have fun. It's not hard.
Yep.
Don't worry about the people that aren't interested. People have got their opinions, and that's fine. And if people want to give you feedback or their opinion on it, take it in the chin. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Do what you need to do. If there's something from that you want to change, absolutely take the feedback on. If you think it's unfounded, move on. It doesn't matter. Be yourself. Do your own shit and be happy.
Don't worry, be happy.
Hakuna Matata.
Cool. So let's move on to the big feature of this episode. And who knows, this could last 10 minutes, this could last 10 hours. We're going to do a run through of the Gibson 2019 run lineup.
Yes.
So we didn't mention this in the last episode, but Henry is gone. Is that right? The
official party line at the moment is that Henry has still to be replaced, but there's another acting CEO by the looks of things. I don't know if that's basically just they've got rid of him and they don't want to put that in the public domain until they find someone else because they don't want it to look they don't have a CEO, or if genuinely he's still there heading it up until he finds his replacement. Who knows? Anything to be said would be speculation. Yep. But it's been said there's another acting CEO while he is there and they find a permanent replacement. So
looking at these guitars, it is a stripped back lineup. That's worth pointing out. Let's 3, 4.
I don't think it's that stripped back.
17 guitars.
That's not that bad.
I think their 18 line was a lot bigger than that.
Yeah.
It's not super stripped down, but
no, I mean I wouldn't.
They're limiting. So all right, we've got the 2019 Les Paul Junior in name only, apparently.
that's not creepy at all.
This is obviously your cheap option if you're after a Gibson.
Yep, no neck breaks so far. That's one down.
This is at $800, which it's always difficult with dollars, isn't it? Because should we just assume that's a pound sign for the UK?
At this point in time, it may as well be. Thanks Brexit.
Yeah, probably worse than that. So yeah, maple neck.
Wait a minute, frets low, cryogenically treated.
Oh yeah, that's they like that.
What is this? I don't know.
I think it's their standard nickel frets, but they cryogenically treat them to make them harder.
Probably more brittle in that case.
I mean, I don't think they come on the guitar frozen.
No, I hope not. But at the same time, the whole thing with freezing things that generally makes them more brittle. Anyway, that's just me again, fucking speculating.
So is a rosewood fingerboard on there?
No, it isn't. No way.
Apparently, it's a rosewood board.
No bakelite.
Just available in the worn cherry. Yeah, I don't think that's particularly interesting.
No, that's just the same as what you would expect from just a kind of Les Paul Junior, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's also a double cut. I don't know how I didn't mention that.
True. Good point.
But yeah, $800 for that.
It doesn't seem like too bad a guitar. I mean, it's quite expensive for what you get, but it doesn't look like there's anything on it where you would go, why have they done that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. As always, it's it is expensive, but you pay for the Gibson name. Exactly. I mean, the tuners look dreadful on it, but
man, you're right. They're like
plastic.
Yeah, like Soviet 60s guitar style.
And they don't seem to... Oh, hardware, okay. Tuning machines, vintage deluxe with white buttons, yeah. I mean, I do get it. It's a Les Paul Junior, so they go for that like old look. But anyway, let's get on to the ones that people are really interested in. So we've got the Les Paul Studio Tribute.
Wait. We need to go back. There's people interested in what Gibson's putting out these days? Except us?
Yeah, Dr. Rocks and Lawyer Blues.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Bonamassa fans.
Pub rock bands.
Exactly. A tribute to the master.
You play so many Toto songs in this bad boy. Slap.
Yeah. So we're looking at... I mean, again, it's not the worst price, to be completely honest with you. It's not the worst price. But So it's a tribute. I mean, there's no binding on the fretboard.
Yep.
There's no pickup covers on it. There's no pickup ring around the pickup selector switch, which all strike me as odd choices.
There's a maple neck and ultra modern weight relief involved as well.
Yeah, so that annoys me. Ultra weight relief. Well, how is that a tribute then?
Yeah, I don't think it's too much a selling point for a Les Paul either. I don't mean that in any disrespectful way to anyone who's got like a weight relief Les Paul, but the whole allure of having a Les Paul is you have this big fucking slab of mahogany that just sustains for days, thick fucking tone. If you start cutting holes out of that, then you're going to lose a lot of that tone.
I mean, you say that, but your On Speak Alive is like the lightest guitar I've ever held.
But I didn't buy that because I wanted a big slab of mahogany.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, if you want something ergonomic, comfortable, light, modern, buy something ergonomic, light, comfortable, and modern.
I feel like my point was I feel like that does sustain. It does sing.
Oh yes, I'm not saying that the guitar doesn't potentially come as a great guitar. That might be one of the best Les Pauls, or one of them might be one of the best ones I've ever played. You can never know, but I just don't see, as you point yourself, if it's a tribute to the 50s, it didn't cut big holes in them in the 50s, except the people who were fucking nuts and who are now pulling their hair out at how much money they've lost for absolutely like barbarically destroying vintage music history. Sorry, I digress.
I'm going to say, it's got a nitro finish on it, which is cool. Yeah, fair enough. But maple neck, so chuck it in the bin. As far as I'm concerned, nothing else really jumps out at me. I'm going to say actually in that finish, I think the difference, the lack of binding on the body looks a little bit more acceptable. That's the satin iced tea finish. In satin iced tea.
I think the satin iced tea looks terrible.
Okay.
I think it looks like a questionable catheter bag. Like, has something happened to you inside that's caused your pee to be that colour?
I'm really enjoying this because normally it's me that will just rip everything apart, but I'm going to be cool, calm and objective, and you're just going to throw in all the zingers.
I'm just in the mood to be a dick. Fuck it.
Makes a change. This is like some sort of Freaky Friday shit. I think we can move on from that. Like I say, to be honest though, I'm torn on that because, like I say, maple neck. It's not really a Les Paul. Certainly not a tribute to the Les Paul. $1,200. It's not the worst. They also have your Les Paul Studio. Yeah,
so just a Studio as is, which actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, now we're moving into slightly more expensive, $1,700, which is not cheap. But so Les Paul Tribute. This was the one that last year or the year before they had the gold top version of, which I was actually quite tempted by.
Oh, right, okay.
And I would have got one and then had someone do faux scraped binding on it to make it look more acceptable, because you could pick those up for like £600, which wasn't too bad. But yeah, certainly not a Les Paul. But this is starting to look a lot more like a Les Paul.
Yeah.
It's just what finish options do we have?
Barbecue burst and tangerine burst.
I don't think either of those finish options are great.
I don't think the pictures are great. I think that's the problem. I mean, the barbecue burst is obviously meant to be quite a dark colour, but it's like so dark it just looks black.
Yeah, I think that's got potential to have a good look to it in reality.
Again, you can't see any definition of any other colour in that.
Yeah,
I don't know if anyone else can. We certainly can't.
So, is there any mention of? No, I can't see any weight relief.
Push pull pots. That's interesting. Coil tapped.
Yeah. No mention of weight relief. So, and it's a mahogany body, mahogany neck. So this is definitely moving into Les Paul territory, as you'd hope for a Les Paul. Doesn't
is it inlays are acrylic trapezoids? Surely that would be mother of pearl. You're not going to put plastic in there, are you?
Yeah, you would. Any. Like, you wouldn't want them to, but you would, yeah.
Really?
that'll be cheaper.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's just get real tuners on it. Let's get Grovers.
Yeah, black pick guard.
That's a much better picture.
Yeah, I want to see some of the red coming through in it. And
I can see what you mean by that bourbon. It's the kind of reddy, purpley brown, really dark stain mahogany kind of style. If that's what they're going to look like, that's actually quite a cool finish.
Yeah, that's not overly offensive to me, actually. I don't know. That doesn't bother me. So what's this? The Les Paul Studio 2019.
So we're 3 guitars in, and you can tell there's obviously a bit of a focus on what made Gibson great before. should we really be sticking to that and making small small changes?
I'm just skeptical about this not being
Weight relieved.
Weight relieved.
Just because it doesn't say it doesn't mean.
Yeah, my gut is telling me it's weight relieved.
I think all of them are.
Les Paul Classic 2019, classic 60s Les Paul vibes. $2,300 is not cheap.
It's not.
But if you want a classic Les Paul,
but you could probably pick up like an authentic 80s for the same money.
Maybe
even less.
Where are the pickup covers? And you can get it in gold top. Yes. I love a gold top. I just absolutely love a gold top. We could have done a bit more research on this, I think, heading into it, because I don't know how 2,300 for a classic 60s Les Paul is, how that kind of weighs up.
Well, let's just guess and say it's ballpark figure for them brand new, but still shit. Because that's generally how the pricing goes for Gibson. No offence to them. I think this is where we're starting to see the guitars becoming full mahogany.
The last one was full mahogany. Had a mahogany.
Sure, it said mahogany and maple.
That was the top.
Oh, okay, fair enough. That makes sense.
Though, fair point. These aren't listing the top as being mahogany. So, but what? So, how much more is this?
2,200 from 1,700, 600 quid.
$600 more. So what are we paying for on this? The binding on the neck, that was on the last one.
All mahogany.
There's
no
binding
maple
on
cap.
Binding on the body.
The fact that it's meant to look classic and says classic on that bell-shaped
I think that
truss cover.
It is an all mahogany Les Paul, isn't it?
Even the neck as well.
Yeah.
The other thing I did notice. That's still acrylic inlays.
Is it still acrylic in there?
Is it better pickups as well? I think those are the 610s. The last one had 498s.
Yep.
61 hours. 61T. So slightly better heart pickups as well. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
quite a lot of money for.
It's a lot more money, but yeah. Again, are you paying just for the word classic?
Probably.
I think so far the Studio is still the winner for me.
Yeah.
Traditional.
By name, in nature. That is a nice top on that, to be fair.
Got a maple
That's
top now.
very Slash.
Yep. That's a Slash looking guitar, I will give you that. What finishes does it come in?
Heritage Cherry Bar.
Of course. The classic. Alright, I'll go back to tobacco. Okay, so how much more is it?
Another 400, 500 quid?
400.
No, 5.
Yep.
230 to 28. 500.
I can't even see that. And I can see it now.
22.99, 27.99, 500.
So an extra 500 bones. What jumps out on this? What are we really paying for on this?
Right. Non-weight relieved body. There's an interesting sentence.
So they're specifying non-weight relief on this.
Solid mahogany fingerboard.
Traditional by name.
Rosewood fingerboard. Better wiring apart. Well, not better. Different. Orange drop caps. Still acrylic inlays. Nice looking guitar, to be fair to them.
That's a difficult one, isn't it? Struggle to look where the
ABR1 Tunematic.
It's a fucking Tunematic bridge.
They went back to just their own machine heads as well. Like, rather than saying it's like Clisons or Grovers, it's just vintage deluxe with keystone buttons. So. It comes with a scratch plate you can mount, but it's not mounted.
Okay. This also
hand wired, so you're paying for that as well.
This is in a hard shell case.
Okay.
Like this. That's also a hard shell case. So yeah. All right. Cool. But now we're getting into silly territory.
Yep.
The Les Paul Standard.
$3,300. That is a nice finish, but also really ugly on that guitar.
What is wrong with your eyes?
See.
That's better.
Really? I think those are both finishes I would expect to see on a PRS. That looks like a Tremonti, and the last one looks like a hollow body.
It seems strange to me that these are your standards.
Yeah.
Those are both quite odd finishes. They seem like really specialist finishes.
Well, maybe that's what they're trying to push then, that you can get the...
What, that they've got a lot of weird paint colours lying around and they just need to get them used?
Well, no, I was just going to say that like, when you start to get up the range, you start to get something a bit different, but then that's also kind of pushing the idea that you need to buy the cheaper models to get something that's traditional.
A finish like this is something that's supposed to catch your eye and stand out. That's your old like custom shop finish.
That does catch my eye, but not in a good way.
If they're now saying that these sorts of finishes are going to be our standard Les Paul finish, like, then you can see these everywhere. It loses the value. You know what's dreadful about that? Put some fucking speed knobs on it.
Yeah.
What is happening with those knobs?
Also, I think black pickup sounds would look better if you're going to have a burst on the bottom end of that.
Yep.
Personally.
It's a lot of money though. So what are they saying?
Yeah.
Iconic Les Paul standard, celebrated by the world's greatest musicians. It's a standard for perfection in the world of electric. It's lovely when you can write your own reviews, isn't it? The new 29 Les Paul standard features the popular asymmetrical slim taper neck profile with ultra modern weight relief. Yay.
So you get to a standard and then that's when they start cutting holes out the guitar for you?
Impeccable looks are highlighted by the powerful tonewood combination of mahogany back and a carved maple AAA figure top, calibrated burst bucker pro humbuckers. Yeah. Four pull push knobs with an internal 5-position dip switch for multiple tonal variations.
Right, cool. So it sounds like a guitar that you do not want to try and take anywhere in case, oh wait a minute, I can't get that tone right. Wait, take the back panel off. Oh shit, I've got two of the knobs are in pull mode, there's different push, and fuck off. Get to fuck. If you're going to have those kind of controls, they need to be on the guitar and usable.
Yeah.
For example, the pale and blue Les Paul that Fraser had when I worked in the shop, that was beautiful, and it was push knobs, which was coil taps for each of the pickups and an active boost, which just gave it a bit more grit and a bit more volume, and that was incredibly workable because it's push. You don't need to do anything, there's no fiddling about, so you don't need to worry about.
Oh, I can tell you something about push though. So I believe, is it Yamaha? Someone owns that technology.
Okay.
For the push. Yeah, that's what I've managed to work out. When I ordered my Guthrie Govan Sir years and years ago, that came with a push on it. And as soon as that came in, I realised it was push, I was like, that's cool, that's clever, that's what I want on all of my guitars. And then Sir stopped having that as a feature on the guitar, and I can only come to the conclusion it's because Yamaha own that.
Maybe. I've never seen many push knobs themselves separately, and we get a lot of parts in the shop, obviously.
Yep.
So, sorry to digress there, people.
I'd also requested it on my Vigier when I custom had the push pull pot that I've got on that with an active boost on it. I wanted that to be push, but it wasn't an option. Couldn't get it.
Less is more.
Now we get it. The ultimate player's guitar.
Really?
This is 3,008. It's a lot of money.
That looks like a Spinal Tap guitar to me.
What finishes?
Oh, they're recycling the finishes that came on those weird Supremes, the SGs and Les Paul Supremes.
Yeah, so
what
are we getting?
Fuck
Where's
is
the money? 29 Gibson Les Paul HP retains popular features, the AAA figure top, comfortable asymmetrical slim taper neck profile, fast access heel. Oh, should we have a look at that? Oh dear.
What the fuck is that?
Oh dear. Fast access heel, soloist neck width, ultra modern weight relief, belly scarf, and a belly scarf for me. There'd be no guitar left.
How are they selling this guitar that every time you pay more you get less on the guitar? How do they go about that?
Getting less mahogany. Burstbacker Pro pickups in it. Yeah, premium composite hard shell. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But the old high performance series, weren't these the ones last year that they were putting like the robot tuners and shit on? And you'll notice none of these have those robot monstrosities on them.
I think they're going.
Same comment as always, right? I'm just not seeing the huge difference between the high performance and the classic.
Yeah, and the difference in value is staggering.
$1,500 more.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh well.
For that $1,500 you could buy another Gibson.
Good luck, Gibson.
Yeah, you're doing well so far.
I love SGs.
You know what? It's a guitar I've never owned.
I love an SG. It's a weird one. Like you just think of it as what, like a Les Paul Light or whatever. You just don't know what it is, and then you own one and you go, I get it. It's this like thinner set neck, mahogany body, like
Total Rock machines.
Yeah.
All the neck access you could ever have.
Yeah, and they feel totally different to a Les Paul, obviously. So I'm big.
I feel I really enjoyed, to be fair. I've just never owned one.
Oh, I miss mine. I had one that was a beaut. Anyway, a tribute to an original rock machine. Fair price.
Yeah, and it's a fair tribute itself. It just looks the part. It's what you'd expect.
Traditional, and you can't weight relief these, so
I mean, you could, but you wouldn't have much of a guitar left.
Yeah. Fair.
I quite like the walnut one, actually. That's...
I feel there is the problem with an SG, right? They're so iconic in those red cherry finishes that anything that's not that just looks wrong to me.
No, I've seen quite a few of the walnut guitars. I mean, between them and like Firebirds. Not for you?
I'm actually not even for the SGs with the big scratch plates on them.
Anyone that's watching or listening, feel free just to comment, fucking shut up, Levi. Don't actually, it's alright.
Try to tame the SG standard. So the SG standard.
Try to tame the SG standard. Tame standard. Try to control the timid beast.
Good price though, good price. If you're in the market for
right.
an SG, like I'm going to keep saying it, I love SGs. I think SGs are great guitars. I'll probably add another one to my collection at some point.
Heritage Cherry's in there just waiting on you, Levi.
I don't like the, like I say, the big scratch plates.
I think that's really nice. I do actually like that.
So that's acceptable. They're not putting disgusting finishes on these.
They've done better so far than the Gibsons, the Les Pauls. You know what? I don't think the SG Supremes were really that bad. I don't think the finishes look good on Les Pauls, but they did one of the SG Supremes and it was like flame maple green.
Okay.
And don't get me wrong, it was excessive, but it still was pretty cool. Like, it was different, and that was the good thing about it.
Should we move over to the one that I like?
Let's do it.
SG 61 with the
Get your Bigsby on it.
smaller scratch plate. No, there's no Bigsby on that.
Don't ever want a Bigsby.
Bigsby's are one of those things that, like, nobody needs one until you need one, and then you can't get that sound with anything other than a Bigsby. I love these.
But the sacrifice is that you never want that sound, because then you have to own a Bigsby.
Yeah. Look at the just how set in their ways they are with this. Finishes vintage cherry. That's all you get.
I suppose the other thing you could put on that's one of those old Maestro style trims, which was just a bit of metal that bent. Not great, but looked cool as fuck. Really cool tailpiece.
So yeah, it will come as no surprise to anyone that the reason I love these guitars are those. Do they call that the teardrop scratch plate? Those smaller scratch plates. It's a Derek Trucks thing, you know.
I was just waiting on it.
I just see that and I'm like, oh yeah, oh baby.
Maybe I'll get good at slide one day. Not. I definitely won't.
Yeah.
I'd love to, but
me too. And I'm a published slide writer, so. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. You sent me a link to that SG, the Derek Trucks one, just recently for sale. How much was it? 600.
It wasn't too bad at all.
It was cheap. I was very tempted.
I can imagine.
Very tempted, but I've got guitars coming up. Okay, so the high performance one.
There we go. That's us getting into the Supreme models I was talking about style, the flame top with the colour on it.
Or is the shape ever so slightly different at the top?
You know what that looks like? Genuinely looks like the... What's the name of the LTD model?
The
ESP
Viper. Yeah.
The Viper. It looks so much like a Viper in that respect.
Ugh.
You know what? That's a really nice finish, but doesn't suit that guitar in the slightest.
You know what that reminds me of? Is it the Minark? The Minark? That flame guitar?
Oh, Minark.
Minark.
Yeah.
That reminds me of that. It's like that, but without the flames at the back. So it's just too much.
Garish is an understatement. A titanium adjustable 0 fret nut and titanium bridge saddles.
They weren't on the... I mean, I'm a big fan of 0 frets. It's one of, like... I call it a feature. They got
the first guitar I ever saw with a 0 fret was the Brian May.
Okay. They're good. The 0 frets are great.
Makes sense.
Consistency of action. Very helpful for setting your action. You don't need to be an expert in cutting a nut to put a good 0 fret in. But more importantly, your open strings sound like fretted notes. I always hate that. Yeah, I always hated that. You can just tell an open string as plain as day. Like, it kind of removes some of that. I'm going to go down my Telecaster rant here. Telecasters should never be. You should never be spending more than about, I don't know, £600-700 on a Telecaster, because it's just a simple, bare bones piece of shit guitar. And I say that with love, because they're my favourite guitars.
And you've guitars you definitely spent more than that on that are Telecasters
Yes.
by the time you've fucked with them.
Oh yeah. But my main Telecaster is a Mexican Telecaster, and that I've thrown some upgrades in. But £3,000 Telecasters, are you fucking crazy?
No, I think I could justify that if I was buying a Firebird Contour.
But at that point, it's no longer a Telecaster because it's got all of these modern contours and features.
Yeah. Okay, if you mean like an actual Telecaster, then fair. Okay,
so
get you.
And with this, I just don't think you can ever, like, SG should never be that expensive. Just never.
Aye, I don't think that's...
Get that right in the bin.
Goodbye.
Get that right in the bin.
Test your wings with the Firebird.
Never been a Firebird fan, but if you are a Firebird fan, man, that's not a bad price. That is not a bad price.
That's actually alright, yeah.
Those mini humbuckers, the classic Firebird sound.
Yeah, interesting to say the least. Satin cherry.
Yeah, nothing really jumps out when I look at this. It's
no, it's just a designer series gig bag.
Oh, well, you're not going to
£1,200, and you get $1,200.
You are not going to want a hard case for something like that, though. That is
if I was spending $1,200, I would want a hard case,
and then you would immediately buy a soft case for it and never take it anywhere in the hard case.
I mean, I'm saying that, but my Goliath came with a gig bag, but it's also headless.
Dude,
very small, and it's a great bag.
I hate hard cases so much.
Yeah, me too.
I have so many there's another one coming next week for a guitar, and that hard case is just going to go straight in the loft.
I'm going to buy one or two off you because I need some for my guitars.
No, you never need hard cases, Mike.
No, I do.
I'd be happy to get rid of them, but you never need them. Don't do it to yourself.
No, I don't mean like I want some. I mean that I might need some.
So the Firebird 2919, this is your standard.
Firebird has landed. That's pretty cool. I like that, although it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Cardinal red. Fucking hell, what is that?
Oh dear. That's not a bad finish though.
I'm just waiting on some wanker with like a quiff in his hair and a leather jacket coming out and pulling one of the fucking switchblade combs out. Hey yo, Joey! Get the fuck. Sorry, hold me back.
Yeah, that's no. I mean, we're really plowing through these now because we care about these guitars as much as people that buy guitars do. Yeah. I've never been an Explorer guy, but Kendo's a big Explorer guy.
It's like the dirty fingers pickups.
To be fair, right, isn't Kendo always going on about wanting an Explorer, an all-black Explorer? That is an all-black Explorer that says Gibson on the headstock, not Epiphone, and it's pretty cheap.
I thought it was a Flying V he was after, but it might be an Explorer as well.
He wants a Flying V as well.
I remember that custom shop Flying V that was in Guitar for a while. You would get in basically fucking worship it. It was like a shrine.
Yeah. Now you've got, is it Big Tam from Crossfire?
Aye.
Yeah, he's got an Explorer, and anytime Kendo gets the chance to pick that up, he's all there. So, yeah. Any other finishes on it? No? So that one is just coming in satin ebony.
To be fair, that's quite a good looking guitar, and I'm glad they haven't offered it in anything else that isn't going to be horrendous. Maybe in white would have been pretty cool.
Yeah. Very to the point.
Which they should have done with the Les Pauls.
I mean, honestly feel like sending that to Kendo. Not that he'll buy it, but it's got that shitty comparison.
You'll upset him.
I know. Don't worry, he doesn't watch these.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not too bad, and the price doesn't offend me.
Way back to traditional style.
I'm just so only antique natural.
Is that Grover machine heads? Aye, Grover minis.
Yeah, not really limited finish options on a lot of these, and I find that maybe it's a cost cutting exercise, but it's a strange one.
Well, you think about it, this year they're probably having to really watch what they're doing if they've failed for chapter 10, isn't it? Chapter 10?
11?
Chapter 11, the bankruptcy.
Just making it up. Could be 9. Could be 13.
Bankruptcy protection. Anyway, I don't imagine there'll be a lot of the R&D team suggesting silly things that don't sell, for the very reason that they will not be in a job soon, if that is their recommendation.
Yeah, I don't know enough about old vintage Explorers, right? But were they always three knobs?
I think there's some of them.
That's 2 volumes and
one tone,
which is... Yeah, seems odd to me.
No. I think for some of the classic ones, I think the position's usually different. I think the position usually follows the line of the body. Right. But look it up.
No, that would mean typing.
Oh, true. Fuck that.
People are looking at my screen currently. So
www. And you just press one letter and you get to know someone's porn preference.
Yeah, exactly. There's
too much dangerous shit in there, man. Oh.
That shit get me arrested. Again, like if Kendo wants a black Flying V,
But you know what? Like the
What are they
Explorer,
calling
it looked pretty good. That
Looks cheap.
yeah, exactly. I was just going to say it looks like. Remember the Stag guitars you used to get, and there was like they were meant to be like racing cars, and they were like really horrendous fake Lambo orange with the fucking checkered squares on them. It's like one of them that somebody spray painted black in the garage. Because I mean, I don't know if it's just a photo, but that rosewood looks really shitty.
Yeah, and you know what else it is? It's the dot markers.
Yes,
Dot markers on that, which is I don't know, like they're going to be acrylic, aren't they? Yeah, they're acrylic dots. It can't be costing you that much more to put an acrylic block inlays in that.
or even wee diamonds.
Yeah,
diamonds would have been cool as shit.
Yeah,
Gibson, just take us on and we'll keep you right. Just fucking get it over and done with. Pays
well,
a good
they are looking
salary.
for a CEO, so.
I don't think they're looking for either of us to be the CEO though, Levi, because all we've done is shit on them from a great
How does
height.
that price compare?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, fair enough. Flying V standard. It's only going to be available in that finish, isn't it?
Because again, inoffensive.
So they're doing the same thing for both the Explorer and the Flying V. Yeah, just inoffensive. Like, it's a Flying V. Why is there not a white Flying V? Like, a white Flying V is iconic.
Mm-hmm.
It's a modern guitar. Well, it's a 60s attempt at being modern.
I think this might just be Gibson's year of being thrifty.
Yeah.
I don't mean that in any bad way. I think they're probably going, right, what are the models that actually sell? What are the models that we want to see? Where can we maybe jazz them up a wee bit, and let's just stick to what we know? Which isn't a bad idea, but considering how quickly the music industry is moving forward with innovations, for example, you've got the guitars that are like Aristides, completely moulded.
Yep.
A lot of headless guitars at the moment, new innovations. There's even like folding carbon fibre guitars. If you saw them, you've got like a special hinge somewhere built in like the 12th fret or whatever that you can fold them in half, like kind of stuff like that. It's really pushing the boat out, but they're all very plain.
Isn't that the danger though? Like, I get the being thrifty thing and just making the guitars that sell, but that's a Flying V available in one finish.
Yes.
You better fucking hope that anybody this year that wants to buy a Flying V loves that finish, because there's no other option for them.
Well, there is. Buy from another company.
Yeah, or buy a second-hand one.
Buy a vagina guitar.
Buy a vagina. Always buy a vagina.
Oh, aye.
We should reach out to those guys and have them on, because yeah.
Mr. Vagina, if you're listening, please call to the front desk.
I'll send him a message.
We should do.
Yeah. So yeah. In summary, how would you summarise that? Because that's it. There's no more.
That's how I would summarise it.
Yeah. It's thrifty. I'm glad you said that, because that's a really good way to describe it. It's a limited offering, stripped back, very few options available on them. It's a shame we can't bring up like 2018 in this format. I went and looked on products, and you can bring up the 2018 lineup, but
it's not often either of us to speak positively about Gibson or current Gibson trends in any way, shape or form, but I'm going to go out and say I think this is probably a wise move from them. Not because I think they're offering a lot of good things, but because they're obviously starting to realise that people vote with their wallets.
Yeah.
And the things that they've been putting on the guitars year in, year out that people have been saying they don't want seem to be gone, which is really the electric tuning heads.
Yep.
To be honest, the robo tuners. Like, I don't think that's the only thing that stopped people buying Gibson guitars, and I don't think they are inherently bad. But I don't think it's technology that should be introduced to what's supposed to be a classic line of instruments. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, totally.
I get that they did go with that innovation idea, but maybe just stick to what you're good at.
Mind that Flying V that I won.
Aye.
That was that turned out to be a pretty cool guitar, and it was like a heritage cherry red type of thing, because that's an acceptable finish. That is not an acceptable finish.
If it was just the Explorer that came in that kind of Carina style, absolutely. But the Flying VI, black or white, like, it's got to be.
Yeah, finish the fucker.
Maybe even red. So you put it in the heritage red, that'd be nice.
Yeah. It just, I can't. It's so thrifty. It's so unbelievably thrifty. Just not. it's like we want to make all of these guitars and then we just want them all hanging on a rack and we just want to spray the nitro finish on all of them and just have it done with. We don't want to have to split them up and have someone paint them different colours.
That's why you pay for the standard and the high performance, to get the funny finishes.
Yeah. This is going to be a make or break year for Gibson. These guitars are either going to do really well or it's going to bury them. They're going to sell. And actually, I just checked prices. So last year, the 2018 Flying V that came in Heritage Red or Heritage Cherry or whatever it was $50 cheaper than this. So this is more expensive.
We'll just need to watch and see.
Well, you got to pay. Henry's severance package needs to be paid. So
off with his head.
Yeah.
There's a severance for you.
There we go. 40 minutes of bagging on Gibson. We don't do that very often.
No, we didn't. It wasn't that much bagging, to be honest. We're just pointing out the things that we think a brand of this reputation and size should really be conscious of.
Which one would you buy?
Do I have to buy one?
Yes. Okay, which one would you have Gibson give you?
Even then, I'm still pushing. I don't mean that in any bad way, but there's nothing there that like piques my interest.
The Les Paul Studio barbecue finish.
Okay, right, okay.
That's the one I give it to. I love the 61 SG, but just buy an old 61 reissue. I don't need a new one, but that barbecue finish, whatever they called it on the Les Paul Studio. Also, price of the guitar $1,700. It's not obscenely expensive.
No,
it's not cheap, but I think of everything on there, that's the one that I can look at and go, that's not bad.
They're probably right, bang for the buck kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's fair enough. I mean, I don't think the Black V and the Black Explorer look like bad guitars, but I think there's points of them that they've really missed a trick aesthetically. Like the big white horrible dots is one. Dirty fingers written on the pickups is pretty bad. I mean, you can put covers on them, it's not too bad, but just it's so little things that could have been thought of. Ah well.
Is what it is. So thank you very much everybody for watching. I was going to say listening to, but hopefully you watched this, though I tried to describe as much as possible. So if you did manage to listen through this, well done, you are a champion.
Absolutely.
If you are listening on SoundCloud or podcasting app of your choice, sling us a like if that's an option. Review the podcast, let people know about it.
1 star, assholes.
Yeah, if you're on we'll just flag your comments, it's fine.
Henry J.
Yeah, share it with your friends, subscribe, tell your enemies, all of that old anything you want to add?
Just the same again, like, subscribe, messages. We want to know if there's anything you like, you don't like, stuff you'd want to suggest. Obviously last week we did last episodes we did a listener review for one of the albums. It was very interesting. It was a Imperial Triumphant.
I've wiped it from my memory.
I'm sure it was called Imperial Triumphant.
Jungle Blues is no longer there. It's gone.
Goodbye.
Yes.
But that was cool. I really enjoyed doing that. I'm sure you did as well, because it's always nice to hear different music. And we'd done so before as well, obviously, with Andy. I hadn't listened to John Fulbright quite promptly, to be fair, so hands in the air.
Yeah. I was just reminded we've not done Album Club, so next time.
That's alright. It's just more time for me to listen to ACT. Fucking great.
More time for me to listen to saxophone.
A lot of saxophone.
Yeah. Cool. So until next time, bye fuckers.